Wow, just look at this. What an amazing place. This is a mountain lover's paradise. It is absolutely stunning. We're stood up here above the village of Aramunt and the freshwater lake of Sant Antoni in the district of Pallars, Catalunya in the Pyrenees. It was called Sant Antoni because of the hermitage of Sant Antoni de Sousteres, which was submerged when the lake was created, although the top of the belfry can still be seen when the lake is very low. And the lake was created by the building of the huge Talarn dam between 1912 and 1916. The lake is largely fed by the Noguera Pallaresa river and is a major centre for the generation of hydroelectricity, which powers industry as far away as Barcelona. The Pallars region was hugely important in the Spanish Civil War of 1936 to 1939, and we can see some of the really important points from up here. To the left is the mountain of Sant Corneli, and conquering that was the goal of both sides in the war, as that would determine the winner. Just in front is a river and a ridge which formed a natural boundary. And that's where we can find the remains of the old trenches snaking their way down the mountainside. There are many remains of this conflict, including some really interesting concrete bunkers which served as lookouts and for firing, and there's even one that's virtually underground. The war shaped and forever changed this landscape and the lives of the people who live here. It is fascinating. The Noguera Pallaresa River is hugely important in this area. For centuries, loggers would cut timber in the high mountain forests, make them into wooden rafts and float them down the turbulent waters of the river to the sawmills further downstream. And this tradition is still continued with a festival of rafters each year in July. This was a very perilous journey, with some incredibly difficult sections. One of the most perilous being where the river is joined by the very narrow Hell's Canyon, which is part of the Colligat's Gorge. The turbulent waters, along with local legends of monsters and the devil, struck fear into the hearts of the rafters. Before the reservoir was built, there was a trade known as Hydroelectricity, which involved floating logs down the river towards the Mediterranean as far as Tortosa and Amposta. This lovely route beside the river is the old mountain road which served the area for centuries until the building of the tunnel of Gerri de la Salle, and that is a medieval town famous for its salt production, and it's a tradition which continued until the early 1980s. Talking of water in Aramunt, there is the Font de la Eau, a natural freshwater spring gushing straight out of the limestone at the foot of Sant Corneli de Aramunt. Legend has it that a person came across the waterfall when it was in full flow, gushing down the mountainside, and was so impressed he let out a huge "oh" of awe and wonder. And later, when showing this waterfall to others, they too were so impressed that they all gasped "oh" in wonder. The Fuentes of Aramunt are a perfect place for a picnic, and people come here to drink and collect the fresh water. There is water in the Font de la Eau all year round, although at times it can be quite low, and at other times it can be a raging torrent. This is in contrast to the neighbouring fountain, the Font Mentidora, the lying fountain, so called because of its very capricious nature, whereby sometimes there is water in it and other times there isn't. Everywhere I looked, there were mountains, mountains, mountains and more mountains, with narrow winding roads leading to ancient old villages, churches and hermitages that were perched precariously on the edge of steep, sheer drops. Many in ruins, and also a few that still have people living in them. One such ancient abandoned village is Aramunt Vell, which is perched high on a craggy outcrop of rocks and overlooks the village of Aramunt. This is the ruins of a medieval castle and church, sadly no longer open to the public due to the risk of the structure collapsing. Another amazing place that I visited at the top of a winding mountain road was the beautiful, calm, peaceful Estany de Montcortès. And this is a very rare, non-glacial karstic lake with deep, clear water surrounded by meadows and forests. It's home to huge numbers of birds and wildlife, including toads, which were very noisy that day. Pallars is an amazing area that is so rich in history, so stunningly beautiful, and is a total paradise for walkers and hikers. The local people are incredibly friendly, and everyone was keen to show me round and tell me about the traditions of the area. And the food is absolutely delicious. It's real, traditional, simple, home-cooked food. I only explored a small fraction of this amazing area, and I am really looking forward to my next visit to explore more.